Hi, I'm Andreas here with Rocky Mountain Bikes. We're going to show you the new 2011 redefined Element. Jeff Kabush just rode this to an 8th place at the World Championships in Mont Saint Anne, so we're pretty sure this bike is dynamite and works awesome. We've got a tapered head tube, provides super stiffness, some form-shaped tubing designed by the engineering department at Rocky Mountain Bikes. Down here with the E-type front derailleur provided by Shimano has allowed us to really play with the shape of the carbon and increase the stiffness. So the E-type derailleur by Shimano has provided the ability for Rocky Mountain Bikes to stiffen the bottom bracket, and we use BB92, which provides an absolutely rigid platform for your pedaling. So when you pedal, it's going into your performance going forward, and that's what you want from a race bike. Okay, so we have the angular contact bearings as designed by the engineering department at Rocky. So when you put a bolt through a bearing, it's going to jiggle around. When you have angular contact, it's 110% better contact, and it's 100 grams lighter throughout the whole bike. That's a quarter pound you're saving on a bike. It increases the stiffness of the swing arms, which is absolutely what you need to have, you want to have at this particular point where your shock is loading up. No scissoring here. Very, very stiff. Stiff, 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 stiff. Carbon fiber, super light, absolutely amazing. The only bearing we have is down at the main pivot. Everything else is full carbon fiber. This is the Smooth Link suspension designed by Rocky Mountain Bikes. As prescribed, a line that runs from the main pivot through the rear pivot and is always above the rear axle. Absolutely wonderful suspension. It provides a linear rising rate that is very predictable and easy to set up, so you can always get what you want. Zero pedal feedback, zero chain growth. Absolutely awesome suspension. Smooth Link suspension, Rocky Mountain Element. It comes in two styles, the RSL and the MSL. Race super light and marathon super light. 98 millimeters of travel and 120 mils of travel. I'd like to talk to you about the 2011 Altitude. Now, Rocky's been hard at work behind the scenes in the engineering department, creating our own tubing here at the Altitude. This is our functional form tubing. This also has a Smooth Link suspension as described in the Element discussion. But what I really wanted to point out here is the direct mount front derailleur provided by Shimano allows us to really stiffen up the rear end. But that is attached to the straight up geometry, which is a proprietary Rocky Mountain terminology. What straight up geometry is taking into account sag and the fact that most people are wearing a hydration pack these days loaded with tools. When you set your bike up, if your angles are 74, you're going to sag to 72, which is not your optimal climbing angle. So with straight up geometry, we start at 76, put that weight on, put your sag on, and you sag to 73.5, 74. Now that's the perfect climbing angle for you. So what I brought this bike out for was to show you straight up geometry. And the new Shimano, we saw the E-type before, we saw the direct mount. So there's a lot of new stuff, new technology going on here. But you can get a lot more going on when you have a direct mount and you're climbing perfectly. This is a great bike, all mountain, epic trail rides.